Good morning guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. Yet another frickin' freezing morning, my fingers are numb. I've already started a bit more filing on the board this morning, same as what I was doing last night. That's why I didn't film it, because it's just the exact same. But I think I finally got this main board in a way that I'm happy with it, like to call it complete. I filed more off the long edge so that it has more of a slope, and I also did a bit more on the RCA little hole there. I actually ended up taking a wee chunk out of it so that they could sit through it. But like I say, it's not going to be a problem because those trim panels are going to go over top of it, which is down here by the way. They're finished drying or glued together. So what I'm going to do now is secure those to this and use the flush trim router bit to match this line here, and then I'll go from there. So rather than me stopping in between sections and explaining you how I'm going to do it, I'm just going to explain it all now. So I'm going to, now it does have to be the thin piece down. So this one goes here and this one goes here. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw these to this board with these edges perfectly in line with the hole, and it has to go up just far enough to pass those 45-degree cuts, just like that. And I might actually draw some lines on the board actually to make it easier for myself. And then this one does the same, like that, so they'll get screwed in, and then I'll use a flush trim out a bit to come along and match this line, right, on both of them. After that's done, I'll be able to mark the line with, actually no, what I need to do after that is get this edge done. So I need to follow this edge onto this thing so that this ends up sticking out and having a nice slope on it as well. After I've done that, I can put the board on the amp rack and mark on, there'll be a part here where I can mark a line so I can get the right gradient to match the side profile of the amp, and I'm going to file a big section all the way out of there on both sides of each board, and that way it'll look like it matches the amps. Hopefully it'll become a wee bit more self-explanatory once it's done, and you guys will see. Okay, there we go, my boards are attached. Now for the dusty part. Okay, it's looking pretty good so far. Here's where we're at now. If I'm talking extra loud, it's because I've got earmuffs on, obviously. But here we go. So now you can see what I meant by these trim panels. So now, follows the line, up that line, and along. So this is level with the top of the amp, and this surface is level with this edge. It's looking good, I'm liking it. It's all sitting pretty much where I want it to be. It's looking good. Only thing it's not sitting right is over in this corner, and I don't know why. It's just springing up a wee bit. I think it's the carpet, but I'm not 100% sure. And because I've been doing this thing where I go under like this to check and see if it's sitting on anything, and it's not sitting on anything there until you get to this corner here, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I honestly can't tell. It's definitely not sitting on the RCAs anymore, because now if I look down the crack here, when I push on this, the RCAs don't move, so I've definitely carved out enough space for them to sit in. And I mean, I don't think it's the power cables because they're actually tucked really well away. I honestly don't know. Could be the power cables, I suppose. Oh, I just had an idea. Maybe what I should do for both sides is with the great big 45-degree router bit, I could just carve all of this out all the way along here. That's actually a good idea. I think I might do that. But I'll leave this top edge. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to give that a go. Only thing is, where do I wrap the vinyl after I've done that? It'll probably just fold over and glue to it, I guess. I'll put a cut in it. Yeah, I'm going to try that. And every time I get out of here, this rag wants to fall off. Where is it? This big thing. Oh, big bird. Rabbit. Okay. Hint. Yeah. Okay. That's right. Okay. That big bit, since it's so giant and blunt, it always makes a bit of smoke because it's not very sharp anymore, it's quite blunt. So it makes a wee bit of smoke. Ugh, my eyes. Here and there, it's a wee bit smoky in here now. You can see, it's mainly just those corners where it did the burn marks. Yeah, I'll turn the extractor fan on just for a wee bit. I'll suck some of it out. Oh right, I need to clean this and myself before I go in that car. Okay. Yeah. I think it's sitting on these cables. Oh yeah, it was. Definitely. It was sitting on the crossover wires holding it, but that's okay. Actually, that's sitting quite good now. Sweet. So I'm actually now happy with the shape of this piece. It's like that. So now what I need to do is build a top and a back, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm hoping to have this construction finished today. Probably won't get it wrapped, but I'm hoping to have it finished building. I may have to do some body working in certain places, just like down here where I've done the PVA gluing and it like hasn't been as smooth as I'd hoped. That's fine. GoPro's looking a bit low on battery, so I'm going to chuck it on for a charge while I try and build these back pieces. There won't be anything too interesting about that, so I'll show you once they're made.
1 hour later.
Okay guys, so I've made up the second piece that I need. I'm deciding whether or not at this point whether I want to do a third piece. Jeez, I'm making a mess. So basically all I've decided to do is I've made this long piece of 18mm here with this angle on it. Oh, pardon me, I'm burping. And this basically is just gonna, the angle matches the flatness of the top of this ridge. And then this surface and this surface will just meet. If I can try and simulate this with one hand, that would be good. So I can kind of show you guys. That goes there, that kind of folds up like that, if it will. You'll get the idea. Those two will meet, that'll be there. And I'm just deciding at this point whether or not I want to put another piece of 12 or 18mm on the top of here to even further match this plane. I will, once I've brained it and everything like that, I'm going to put a round over on the top so it's a nice round transition. And like I say, I may or may not put a second piece sandwiched onto here so it gets closer to this plane. So that's my plan. Next thing is like attach those two bits together with some PVA and braid nails, and then yeah, we'll be almost there. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is I know now how I'm going to tune the amps, because these Rockford Fosgate amps, as I learned, well I kind of knew it, but I had just forgotten it because I'm so used to using the small Rockford Fosgate Power Series amps and the Punch Series amps, which have the built-in clean distortion detecting systems, and I forgot that these Power Series ones don't. So an awesome dude by the name of Simon Wright reached out to me. He follows me on YouTube and Patreon and all that, and said, would you like to borrow my SMD DD1 and crossover calibrated at CC1. So he's from Dunedin. Simon, I realized I never actually asked you, like do you just own these for your own personal use, or are you like a professional installer? Like, do you work somewhere, or is this just for yourself? Because I realized I never really asked you that. But yeah, so these belong to him. He sent me up them to borrow and use. I cannot wait to learn how to use these things, use them to tune the amps, and also show them to Pat, because fuck, I want some of these things. It'd just be so much better, like, because we can't, not everyone can afford a Rockford Fosgate amp. Some people just want a cheap Sony or Pioneer or something, and those things don't have built-in, you know, gain setting systems. But with these things, you can set them perfectly every time. So that's how I'm going to do the gains, guys. A lot of you guys have actually been talking about this in the comments, like what I'm going to do with it. And a lot of people were actually hating on the SMD stuff. I'm not really sure why. I think they're freaking awesome. I'm not saying that they are the world's best perfect gain setting device. Like, yes, you can get your multimeter and your oscilloscope and your maths sheet and your calculator out and work out a whole bunch of formulas and things to do with volt amps, because the volt amps is different to RMS power and impedance of the speaker and all that stuff. Guys, this system just, it has to sound good. It doesn't have to meet any like nitty-gritty requirements. It's a loud system. He's gonna turn it up. It's gonna probably at some point distort. Or doing all this, even if I had the best tuning system in the world for the gains, if I had like the best thing you could afford, who's to say he's not going to plug a memory stick or plug in a memory stick with, you know, a cheap downloaded file, or just play a song off YouTube at 128 kilobits per second and wreck the speakers on the first go? Who's to say that's not going to happen? I always, in case you're wondering, I always do tell customers once we put a sound system in to really start doing his research on high quality audio files. But that's not going to stop them, guys. So I don't, like this thing, I'm super happy to have this thing. There's nothing wrong with them. But anyway, moving on. So I need to PVA those two bits together and then decide if I want to add another piece. While it's drying, I think I will have some lunch as well, because I don't want to stick it back in the car while it's got wet PVA in it. So that's what I'm going to go do now. I'm going to glue those things. Thank you so much, Simon Wright, for sending me the DD1 and the CC1. I cannot wait to use them. Okay, this is gonna dry. Don't know. Middle of the day now. I don't know if it takes a full 24 hours to see. I'll come back and check on it in a bit later on. But yeah, this is drying. What can I do in the meantime? In the meantime, I can probably do some tidying up because it's super messy here after all of this filing. Cool beans. Okay guys, here's where we're at now. So yeah, I cleaned up the car a wee bit, got as much of the dust out as I could. I know I'm going to have to clean up later on, because I'm sure the subwoofer box is just going to put all that dust back in there, but clean as you go, fill in the time. So this thing, I decided after doing a bit of testing, you might have seen for a very brief moment in the time lapse, I did make up a secondary layer for the back panel, and I've nailed it and glued it. It's just drying at the moment. So both of these layers are currently drying. This one has been on for a wee bit longer, but now I've got this second layer of 18mm, which I've just glued and nailed, and it's got the same gradient here, and then I even added a gradient there, and you'll see where that fits around the paneling once it's done. So it's looking really good. I'm happy with it so far. The only thing I haven't glued is these sections on. I think I will do that, but I'm going to wait for a bit later on in the day to once this has dried a wee bit, because it's still in the stage where it's thin and it's seeping out of the gaps, and I'm kind of smearing it as it goes. So I want to wait till that's a wee bit more stuck, similar to what this one is now. Even though it's white, it's gotten stickier. So I'm going to wait for that to go tacky, and then I'll take these panels back off, put the glue on, and then I'm just going to use the existing screws that I've got to screw it back on, because I like the idea of those being removable. I'm trying to decide whether or not I need to do some body work to it. Like, there are some sections in here, although the glue, oh no wait, that part is already glued. I don't know. I might be able to smear some PVA in there, but then there's sections like this which would need more than PVA. I'm not sure. I might, if we've got like some bog or something, I might try and do some body work there. Here where I've filed a bit too much and it doesn't quite meet the line. Here it's a bit thin. Here, this one's pretty good, although it doesn't meet the line there. And then there's little mishaps here and there where I've hit this very fine edge with a blade or a file or something like that, you know. I'm hoping that most of these little whoopsies won't show up under the vinyl, because the vinyl's going to wrap around here. Or the carpet, I still don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to wrap around and hopefully hide all those imperfections. Like, at least I'm not painting it. So we shall see, but at this stage it's just drying. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. And I did a big tidy up in here. But then I went and made more mess when I cut this second piece. But you know, I need to put the lid back on this thing. Okay guys, so while that thing is drying, it's still wet, so I can't really do anything with that panel until that's finished, because there's still some little bits I want to do to it, like sanding the edges that are all lined up so that it's all smooth, and also putting the round over on the top, but I can't do that until it's finished drying, so I have to do that stuff tomorrow. So since I've still got some time this afternoon, I'm going to actually start measuring up for this sub box, and maybe even making some parts. I'm probably just going to kind of like build it bit by bit as I go, like one panel at a time, just making each one fit. Yeah, so I think we're going to start with a panel which like a rectangle which sits in this thing, and that's going to be on the floor, and that's going to be a lot of the support for it. It'll get supported up the top here and on that, and probably not really on this. There probably might even be a slight tiny gap between here and the board, but we'll see. But hopefully a lot of the weight will go down, die mosquito, hopefully a lot of the weight will go down onto this surface here. So I'm just going to start doing some measuring and cutting and placing boards in here as I go. Might as well just time lapse it. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Alrighty guys, that's the end to a pretty dusty day. I got a few pieces made up. Got the bottom piece made up. I somehow fucked that up to begin with and made it 100 mils too short. I guess I just didn't read the tape measure right. But anyway, then I made this long waist piece. I mismeasured that again. So I had to do another one because that one was too short. It's hard to know when you're dealing with the curves of the carpet as well, because like, and I'm up on this angle and I can't really see. But anyway, it's not a problem because I got that piece sorted, got this vertical piece sorted, and I've also made this flat piece. And these angles here aren't exactly 45 or really anything measurable, so it took me a few tries, but I think I got this angle pretty decent without doing that. And then this top angle, since it's so sharp, our table saw only goes to 45 degrees, so I cut it to 45 degrees, but then to get it the rest of the way for it to be flat here, I actually just angle grinded and power filed it like I have been doing with the beauty panel. So it's looking good so far, and I'm thinking I'll probably do a bunch of these 45 degree little sticks in the corners like that, like what Doug Bernards has been doing in his 6th order band pass, although we haven't heard from him in nearly a week now, over a week actually. So I'm going to do these 45 degree bracing pieces because I want it to be nice and strong. But now that I've got this piece sort of laid out, on Monday, when I'm next working on it, sorry guys, I'm not doing anything over the weekend, I can start doing the profile for the wall, which is going to come all the way up here with the core flute. So I can put the roof in and start trimming the profile of the sidewall to see what I can make. Because the sidewall is going to be sitting against all these points. Not the 45-degree brace, that will go in like last, I guess. But yeah, it's going to sit on this edge here and then on this edge. And this wall here, I suppose I need to make the back wall first and then I can make the profile. That's probably what I need to do. Grant reckons we won't gain much air volume out of coming back up over this step here. But I reckon we would. I don't know. I reckon we would. I think it's worth it. Because that's... yeah, that's a good at least 50 mils, I reckon. Probably more actually. It's probably more like 60 or 70 mils of backwards air volume that we can use. I think I'm going to step it up there. But I'll just do a whole bunch of bracing and make it extra strong. Because he was saying we just do a wall straight up here and then this whole section is actually left empty and we just put a sort of a cover panel over it so it's not seen. But I reckon it's going to be worth coming up, stepping back and coming back up again. Just got to make sure I do it nice and strong. So that's the end of today, guys. I am dusty as hell again. Yeah, done some good work. I made more of a big old mess, cleaned it up, and now I'm making another mess. I'll have to keep, I mean it's only going to get messier from here, isn't it, with the subwoofer box. But yeah, this thing is pretty much complete. It's just, as I say, drying. It will definitely be dry by Monday. On Monday though, maybe I should get this thing first before I go any further on the sub box. I was just trying to fill in some time for today. But yeah, this thing, as I say, will be dry. I'll be able to wrap it. I still haven't decided what to wrap it in. I'm hoping to find like some black vinyl. I think it'll just look a bit nicer and tidier than carpet. Yeah, but anyway, that's a job for another day. By the way, mad shout out to Mark from Audio Fabrication. Dude, I just saw your comment on my last video. Thank you so much. It was awesome to see that you watch my videos because, yeah, dude, you're quite an inspiration for me. Thank you so much. I never used to use like routers and stuff for doing these sorts of builds before I started watching your show. Man, like I used to just use the jigsaw and sandpaper and the table saw for everything. Like everything we did was pretty square and uncomplex. But no, I'm super stoked. The flush trim router, but fuck man, you gotta love that thing. That's awesome. That copying the shapes and things like this, you know, rabbiting groove. Awesome tips, man. I love your show so much. Thank you for commenting on my video and have a good one. If you guys like the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Like it. If you like it, like it. If you didn't like it anyway, because it might show the channel to other people who might like it. And if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel because this build is nowhere near done yet. We've got lots to do, and I do car audio stuff almost every day at the moment, which I'm quite impressed with myself. I've never used to do daily uploads, but I'm pulling it off so far, so that's working. So yeah, cheers. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's the end of the week, so I won't see you guys until Monday. So thank you for watching all of this week and the previous week. You guys are awesome. Choose to be happy, and I will catch you Monday night. Kite Ano.